Hello friend, you're welcome to the class, and in this tutorial I'll be talking about a wonderful topic. So do well to follow Grand Skills, subscribe to Grand Skills YouTube channel on Grand Skills International TV. Grand Skills International TV. Do well to subscribe to their channel. Subscribing is actually free, like some of us wouldn't understand uh, what they what they mean by subscribe. It just mean by uh, following a channel, but YouTube actually takes it as uh, a subscribe. That is just following the person. So you could go to YouTube. If you don't have a YouTube handle, do well to get a YouTube handle to follow up Grand Skills on every social handles, whichever where they are gonna give information on the benefits that associate with Grand Scale. So do well to follow them on YouTube, subscribe to their YouTube channel, and click on the bell button so you could get all the information anytime they post new updates. So let's go on to the class immediately. So we'll be talking about prevention and control of diseases. Prevention and control of diseases. This is actually a long one, so we're gonna take it up. So as a farmer, there are few and important measures and practices needed to prevent your stocks from some common diseases. There are few and important measures and practices needed to prevent your stocks from some common diseases. Okay, so many farmers have failed in the poultry production industry, not because they failed in medication, vaccination, or feed management. So it means even even when you have put in all medication and vaccination and feed management, it means there may be something also missing when you are failing. It means there could be something you are missing. That is what we are going to talk about in this section. So, but because they it is not because not because they failed in medication, vaccination, and feed management practices, but because they overlook the need for environmental factors. They overlook environmental factors. So environmental factors can be one of the major reason for failure or for any uh, fatality in your poultry production. Environmental factors can be a cause of mortality, massive mortality. Okay, so you should note this. Environmental factors. So a successful and responsible farmer must also look out for the following rules, which is number one, proper hygiene and farm management practices. Proper hygiene and farm management practices. Two, disinfection and fumigation. Disinfection and fumigation. So let's look at the uh, let's look at the content that comes with this number one. So proper hygiene and farm management practices, which which includes biosecurity. So biosecurity, as we said before, as I've explained a little about biosecurity. Biosecurity refers to all the combined measures taken for a poultry farm to be started. Biosecurity refers to all the combined measures taken for a poultry farm to be started and kept healthy. Meaning biosecurity, if you want to build your poultry house or your pen, it means you are gonna take all measures to make sure that there is no way predators like lizards, rats, snakes, or even humans can penetrate into the farm without your notice. or without the notice of the farm attendant or the farm management. So you have to you have to build your poultry and cover it very well with the wire gauze or the nylon wire mesh. So you take these measures. You make sure that you did not build the poultry at the direction whereby if there is a rise of sun, the sun will not be hitting directly to the bed. So this is also one of the biosecurity measures. Okay, so all these when you put them in place, it means you have overcome the biosecurity measure. So it begins with the choice of site. It begins with the choice of site of this of site for the poultry house. So the kind of structure built, management practices adopted, movement of visitors, personal hygiene to environmental stewardship of staffs. All these are the biosecurity measures. So site selection, build the poultry house on the east-west direction to avoid direct sunlight, which is what I just said. Build it on the east-west direction to avoid direct sunlight. So choose your poultry site carefully, considering terrain or landscape, considering the landscape, water source. There should always be a source of water. If you don't have a borehole, make sure there is constant source of water supply. If not, you actually experience stunted growth in your birds because they drink double of what they eat. They drink double of what they eat. So you should note this. So in a situation where you did not supply them enough water as needed, it means they will actually uh, face stunted growth. So they will suffer stunted growth. So communication. So your farm also should be in a direction or in a location where the market can easily communicate with you or locate the farm. So whereby you don't need to go and be begging the market to come and buy. They will just since they see that the farm is in a good location, they will always want to come without you begging them to come. Availability of power. There should be availability of power because you also be supplying water. If there is no power, if there is no government light, or if there is no power, just get your generator and make sure there is always a source of power because you have to pump water. And in a situation where you are using bulbs, in a situation where you are using bulbs in your farm, maybe you want to be feeding your birds at night, you also need power. So ventilation. Logistics and ventilation. Your poultry should always be in a location where you'll be able to move logistically, and also the poultry pen should be in a place where they will have free ventilation, so there won't be restriction of ventilation into the pen. So prevent unnecessary movement of visitors. Prevent unnecessary movement of visitors into the farm. Visitors may serve as disease carriers. So make sure you prevent unnecessary movement. Or if they must enter the pen, they must disinfect themselves. they must disinfect themselves. So seek professional advice and consultancy from appropriate professionals and quarters like Samdiri Integrated Farms and Ministry of Agriculture in your area and agricultural development organizations. Avoid quacks. Avoid quacks and charlatans. Avoid quacks and charlatans because poultry is not something to play with. If you play with them, your investment is gone. Don't be afraid. You can easily consult Sandiri Integrated Farms. You can check them on Facebook. You can check on Facebook. You can also check on Google and anywhere you want to check for their services and reach out to them. Okay, so we still have more. Construct secure, construct secure and comfortable poultry houses in terms of spacing. In terms of spacing, heat control, ventilation, and security against lizards, rats, snakes, whitebirds, and human poachers, which I also explained before. So let's end here and come back again so we don't get bored. Let's come back again in our next video to talk about more of this and more because we still have them here. So thank you very much. Watch the next video. Bye.